Megan.
Hey, Danielle.
How's it going?
Not too bad. Are you ready for a hot date?
I am so ready for a hot date. This is a game by George Batchelor, and it is a pug dating sim.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So here we are. The entire game, as far as I can tell, I played like an hour of this, is you are going on dates with these cute little pugs, and they're really sassy, and you're just basically making conversation with them. Right here I was like, he wants to know what my hobbies are, and his name is Douglas, and I was like, boxing, and he's a boxer too, apparently.
He's a boxer pug, okay. Yeah, so basically it's like speed dating, right? So it's like you get like 3 minutes with them. Like you can see that little clock in the background counting down, which I have to say, all of my dates were terrible.
Yes,
I'm not kidding,
like, too.
Every single one was like the worst date I've ever been on with a human, with a dog, it doesn't matter. So sometimes I would just sit there and be like, I don't even want to talk to you anymore. I'm like watching the clock being like, is this date over yet? You're terrible.
Yes, they're so mean and they're so sassy, but they're also really funny. I mean, the writing is what sells this game, along with obviously the music, which is like very funny and chill and, you know, sort of the heavy bass line kind of thing. And you're here in this delightful little candlelit dinner that you're having with this pug.
So this pug, is this your first date pug, or is
this was my first date right here with Douglas.
Oh
and I was asking him about
guy.
running, and he was so mad that I would ask exercise-based questions. He really, really had an issue with it, and he has his little tongue out the whole time.
Okay, let's
Then
see
I asked him for advice.
Yeah, what advice does he give?
Yeah,
I got some really messed up advice.
Oh,
yeah, that's actually not
some
bad.
really good advice.
It's not bad advice.
Yep, that was good. Stay in the shade. Ice cream helps. Ice cream helps with everything, to be honest. Like,
I mean, this is a
let's
very
be
wise
real.
pug. Yeah.
Yeah. Douglas was a really good first date. I went on a date with a Douglas. I went on a date with like a little dude who was even sassier than Douglas. I can't even imagine. Like he didn't like me right away. I mean, a lot of them are extra sassy, but I think one of them out of like 15 dates actually liked me and actually was like, hey, you're cute. I like you. Okay, so here's a new date.
We got Ethan.
Oh,
he's so nice.
Name? Yeah. It's doing well. In a school. Oh, Ethan's a punner.
He loves dad jokes. He's pretty okay.
He sure does. He sure does, which I do too, so it's okay. So it seems like this game was made, I think it was made in Unity, and clearly, like, you know, there's like 3 models in this game. There's like the little candelabra, the little pug himself, and like the light in the corner. But using those assets, they've created this kind of amazing atmosphere that really works for the writing, I feel like. It's very like, here we are. And now I'm going to tell you a bunch of jokes about dogs, basically.
The whole setting is weird though, right? Because it's like, okay, this is speed dating. Like, are you just in someone's apartment? Like, where did this menorah come from? This is like the most busted speed dating I've ever seen.
It's really true. And there's also the amazing racing flags that are sort of in the background there. Like, is that what you do for speed dating? Is that a speed dating?
Oh, that's actually kind of cute.
Decoration. Yeah, so pretty good.
Yeah. So far, like, your answers have been pretty nice. Like, I have to admit, I got really antagonistic towards some of my dates because, okay, to be fair, they were very mean from the beginning. I was like, they're like, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, I'm Megan. They're like, that name is for losers. And I was like, oh, well, okay. And I try and turn the date around and be like, okay, that's cool, I guess. But like, hey, like, where are you from? And they would like give me some very sassy answer. And so I started just like being a huge dick back. And like the entire, like, this went on for like several dates, right? This was not an isolated incident. Like, every single pug was so mean to me.
There must be some algorithm, right? For like how you're reacting to the pugs and how they'll react back as if it weren't, you know, different pugs. I mean, I'm worried, and I wonder if somehow in the game, like, this is the sort of metagame, but like it's all actually the same dog and you're not actually changing anything, and it's sort of like trying to play a trick on you because it thinks you're stupid and it thinks that it's smarter than you, because that's their whole shtick, that they're smarter than you. I told them I was afraid of heights. I was very honest in my answers. I was actually like, I wasn't role-playing as anyone. I was like, no, I'm gonna be Danielle going on a date. So they asked me what I was into. I was like, boxing or running. I was like, what are you afraid of? And I was like, heights. I felt very vulnerable. I was like opening up to these virtual pugs who were sassy to me.
I struggled for a little bit because I got into this and I was like, am I supposed to be a dog? Am I a human woman on a date? So at first, like, there was a pug I talked to, and the pug it was a girl pug, and she was like, oh, what are you afraid of? And I was like, vacuum cleaners, man. And so we had a nice, like, she's like, oh, vacuum cleaners. Like, everybody's afraid of vacuum cleaners. I'm like, okay, this is great. So clearly, like, yeah, this is working. But then, like, one of them was asking, like, oh, what do you like to do? And I was like, oh, I watch The Simpsons. And I got this sassy retort about how The Simpsons, like, isn't cool or whatever. And I'm just like, I don't think dogs watch that. So I'm very confused about who I'm supposed to be and what my goal is.
Yeah, it's definitely true. Well, here's Lemons. Lemons had a cool name. I liked it. I still just said Danielle for all of them. But yeah, I was tempted to make, like, dog names.
Okay, can I just
be like out, Cocoa Puffs? Yes.
That dog was like, ew, Danielle doesn't sound like a real name. The dog's name is Lemons. That's not a real name.
Yeah, exactly. What is this dog to judge? Unless it is trying to be like, you're a dog. You're role-playing as a pug. How do you do it? And it seems like pugs are often into DJing and making their own clothes. Well, this one liked me. We've got so much in common, baby, because it likes running.
He's like kind of a sleazy pug, though.
Yeah, he's kind of like, hey, baby. It's like, a dense thicket of proficiency. That's beautiful. And crafting marionettes. Yeah, they have really weird interests, which is perfect because pugs kind of seem like weird dogs, right? Like, they kind of have their little sassy, the way they walk, their little butt, they swing their butts a lot. I'm feeling like this game is a commentary on pug life.
See, is it a commentary on pug life, or is it a deeper commentary on dating itself and how fruitless and depressing it is?
I think you're right. Tell. I think you're absolutely right. Perhaps both. There are so many layers to this game. There are so many layers to Hot Date. Clearly. And I was talking about bitcoins there, and I was like, yeah, pugs would so like bitcoins.
I love, I know this sounds dumb, but just all the references, I'm like, oh right, this game is made like pretty recently, so it actually is up on pop culture. But I actually kind of love that. Because, most games, it takes a while for them to come out, so if they, like, make pop culture jokes, if they do at all, they're not always fresh. This is kind of cool.
Yes. Like, I was recently playing Life is Strange, and there are a lot of references to...
Oh, that game has hella problems.
A lot of things. Well, yes, you just recently reviewed the 3rd episode of that game, which is... Yeah. I'm just using it as an example for things where the pop culture references are perhaps a little dated. Perhaps 20 years... dated in a lot of cases. Cannibal Holocaust, yeah, that's a new one. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I was gonna say, along those lines, it's really cool to play a lot of games. I play a lot of small little games like this on itch.io. I call it itch.io. I don't know if it's itch.io or itch.io. I think itch.io sounds funny, so I say it that way. But yeah, like that. There are things that people can make, in a couple of weeks or a couple of months. So people can make smaller experiences, weirder experiences, funnier experiences like this, and kind of get them out there and get them in front of people. And I love that about that platform. And I love that about these kinds of games. These, like, tiny little games that are, somebody's expression of either a personal expression or something really just funny and weird like this. Like Hot Date. The pug dating sim.
Yeah, so this developer, like, I think he works for, I want to say it's Preloaded if I'm remembering correctly, but he also makes games in his spare time. And so this happened to be one of them, I believe. And it's, like, such a weird, cool little thing.
Yeah, I think it's really great.
You know what, though? I emailed him asking if this was actually a jerk simulator, and I have yet to get my answer, so I think it... I was like, why are all these dogs so mean? I was like, I have some serious reporter questions for you. Why are all these dogs so mean? Is this secretly a jerk simulator?
Seriously, it's like, this is like my dating life. And this dog, who said, call me Barbarella, said that Danielle sounded like a cat name. And it was the name they had for their cat, little Danielle. I guess that's fair enough.
I got that one too, and I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, that's bizarre. This must be a dog's life perspective. That must be what's going on here. Ever travel back in time? Deep, yeah, man. Well, thank you so much, Megan, for taking the time to show me this beautiful game and to play this game and talk to me about it. This has been Hot Date by George Batchelor.